Illinois is mostly known for Chicago since it's one of the largest cities in the United States, but Illinois is actually much more rural than most people realize. And according to the most recent census results, the rural communities are getting smaller. All but 4 counties in the state lost population, so in this video, let's take a look at the 10 Illinois counties that have the smallest populations. Number 10, Brown County. Brown County only has 6,244 residents. That's down from 6,937 from the previous census. The county seat is the small city of Mount Sterling in the western part of the state. Most rural areas lack diversity, but Brown County is a little different, at least on paper. The demographic makeup is 73.4% white, 18.9% black, 0.3% Asian, and 6.9% Hispanic. The reason for that is that the county is home to Western Illinois Correctional Center, which is a men's prison. It houses an average of 2,066 prisoners, so the census data is a bit off for some categories. With the presence of the prison, it might be expected that law enforcement might be one of the largest industries in the area, but the top 3 are actually wholesale trade, healthcare and social assistance, and retail. The residents of the county have a median household income that is below the state average at $61,655 and a higher than average poverty rate of 14.8%. That could be explained by the fact that only 83% of the adults in the county have graduated from high school, but again, it's hard to say if that number applies to the prisoners or the actual residents. Despite a lower income, 74.8% of the homes in the county are occupied by the homeowner, and the median home value is $96,200. Number 9, Putnam County. Putnam County has 5,637 residents. That's down from 6,006 in 2010. Not only is this one of the smallest counties by population, it is also the smallest by land mass at 172 square miles. In small rural areas, there isn't much entertainment, so it seems people drink to amuse themselves. Putnam County has the largest percentage of alcohol-impaired driving deaths at 71.4%. As I mentioned earlier, there isn't a lot of diversity in most rural areas, and you can see that in Putnam County, where the residents are 91.3% white, 0.8% black, 0.6% Asian, and 6.3% Hispanic. Immigrants only make up 2.6% of the population, and only 5.7% of the households speak a language besides English. The county seat is Hennepin, which is actually the second largest community in the county. The largest is a village called Granville. The 3 largest industries in this area are manufacturing, healthcare, and retail, so the median household income is slightly below the state average at $63,638, but their poverty rate is much better than average at 7.6%. The high school graduation rate is better than the state average at 92.7%, but only 16.6% of the adults have earned a bachelor's degree. The majority of people who live in this county own their homes. The home ownership rate is 80.5%, and the average home value is $126,800. Number 8, Stark County. Stark County currently has 5,400 residents, down from 5,994 at the previous census. Similar to the previous county on the list, Stark County is 94.9% white, with less than 1% black or Asian, and only 2% Hispanic. The county seat is the small city of Toulon, which was the site of a crazy man on a murder spree back in 2002. I'll link the article in the description if you want to check it out. Stark County is adjacent to Peoria County, so I imagine some of the residents commute there for work. The 3 largest industries are manufacturing, healthcare and social assistance, and retail, so the median household income is below the state and national averages at $54,907, and the poverty rate is 11.2%. 78.5% of the homes are occupied by the homeowner, and the average home value is $87,700. Number 7, Alexander County. Alexander County is the southernmost county in Illinois. The population makeup is 63.7% white, 31.8% black, 0.3% Asian, and 1.9% Hispanic. It's also the county that lost the largest percentage of residents over the course of the last decade. They went from 8,238 in 2010 to 5,240 in 2020. So over 1/3 of the people living there were like, nope, and got out. I'm surprised the number wasn't higher, to be honest. The county seat is Cairo, which is known as a dying town. According to the Wall Street Journal, Cairo lost a larger population percentage than anywhere else in the United States. That's quite the feat. A century ago, the town had 15,000 residents, but due to several economic setbacks, flooding, and racial tensions, people started leaving. This is one of the poorest regions in the state. The median household income is almost half that of the state average at only $36,806. 24% of the residents live in poverty. This county's population also has significant health issues. They have the largest percentage of smokers at 27%. They have the second highest rate of HIV infections. They also have the highest homicide rate in the state at a per capita rate of 21.7 per 100,000 people, and the highest violent crime rate. Despite its issues, 73.7% of the homes are occupied by the homeowner, although the home values average at only $56,000. When you find a town with this many issues, you don't really expect the school system to be all that great, so it's not surprising that only 86.5% of the adults have a high school diploma, and only 12.9% have a bachelor's degree. Number 6. Pulaski County. Pulaski County is located next to Alexander County at the southern tip of the state, so it's not all that surprising that this area is shrinking. They have 5,193 residents, down from 6,161 in the previous census. The population is 63.3% white, 30.6% black, 0.4% Asian, and 2.5% Hispanic. They have two communities that are designated as cities with very similar names, Mound City and Mounds. Seems like that might be a little confusing. The people in this area only have a median household income of $34,640, and 22% of them live below the poverty line. Given that the three largest industries are healthcare and social assistance, public administration, and educational services, I would have expected the median income to be higher, but when you see that only 88.8% of the adults have a high school diploma and 12.6% have a college degree, it makes more sense that the income isn't higher. With low wages, it makes it harder to buy a home, so only 46.4% of the households are occupied by the homeowner, and homes have an average value of $61,300. In addition to poverty, Pulaski County has the second highest percentage of smokers at 25.3% and the third highest rate of motor vehicle crash deaths. Number 5. Scott County. Scott County, in the western part of the state, had 5,355 residents in 2010. At the time of the 2020 census, they counted 4,949 residents, of which 96.2% were entered as white, 0.6% as black, 0.2% as Asian, and 1.4% as Hispanic. The county seat is the only city in the county, Winchester. The three largest industries are healthcare, manufacturing, and educational services. The median household income is $57,118, which is a little below the state average, but the poverty rate is 11.2%, which is better than the state's rate. The high school graduation rate of 93.5% is better than the state's rate of 89.2%, but only 15.8% of the adults have a bachelor's degree, which is less than half that of the state's rate of 34.7%. Homes in Scott County have an average value of $89,200, and 79.9% of the homes are occupied by the homeowner. Number 4. Gallatin County. Gallatin County in southeastern Illinois went from 5,589 residents a decade ago to 4,946 today. The population is 95.3% white, 0.7% black, 0.2% Asian, and 1.6% Hispanic. As with a lot of the counties in the southern third of the state, there is a significant amount of poverty. 19% of the residents live below the poverty line, and the median household income is $21,000 below the state average at only $44,076. This could be due to the three largest industries in the county being healthcare and social assistance, retail, and manufacturing. No one is getting rich in retail, and when they say healthcare, they're including CNAs, which is also a low-paying job. Only 86.9% of the adult residents have graduated from high school, so that probably doesn't help. Only 10.9% have earned a bachelor's degree. Despite the low income and poverty, a majority of the residents have been able to buy a home. The home ownership rate is 77.1%, and the average home value is $73,900. Number 3. Calhoun County. Calhoun County, on the western border of the state, is comprised of 5 tiny villages and a handful of unincorporated communities. At the time of the 2010 census, they had 5,089 residents. In 2020, it was down to 4,437. It's the whitest county in the state, with a population makeup of 97.1% white, 0.4% black, 0.3% Asian, and 1.4% Hispanic. The poverty rate in this county is better than the state's average at 9.7%, but the median household income is slightly lower than the state's at $63,009. The high school graduation rate is better than the state's rate at 91.6%, but the adults with a bachelor's degree is at 14.2%, which is way under the state's average. Most people in this area own a home, since the home ownership rate is 87.3%, and the average home value is $121,000. Number 2. Pope County. Pope County, in the southern tip of the state, went from 4,470 residents in 2010 to 3,763 in 2020. The population is 90.5% white, 5.4% black, 0.4% Asian, and 1.7% Hispanic. Like some of the other counties in this region, the median income level is very low. It's $38,065 compared to the Illinois average of $65,886. Since the income levels are low, the poverty rate is above the state and national rates at 16%. Somehow, though, 82.5% of the households are occupied by the homeowner, and the average home value is $93,000. Only 86% of the adults have a high school diploma, and 13.1% have a bachelor's degree. The three largest industries in Pope County are healthcare and social assistance, construction, and educational services. And number 1, Hardin County. Hardin County is another one of the southern counties. It boasts a tiny population of 3,649, down from 4,320. The population makeup is 94.5% white, 0.4% black, 0.5% Asian, and 2.4% Hispanic. The county seat is Elizabethtown, which is one of the poorest communities in the state. The median household income for the county is only $51,250, and 18% of the residents live below the poverty line. This might be because the high school graduation rate is low. Only 79.6% of the adults have a diploma, and 10.8% have a bachelor's degree. This is one of the areas where mining is still a large part of the local economy. It's the second largest industry in the county. The first largest is healthcare, and the third largest is transportation and warehousing. Despite the low income for the area, 82% of the homes are occupied by the homeowner, and homes have an average value of $80,500. According to the 2020 census, most rural areas lost citizens to larger cities, so Illinois isn't alone in that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, hit the thumbs up. I'm curious as to how many people actually watched the whole video, so if you made it this far, leave a palindrome in the comments to confuse the others. My personal favorite is Taco Cat, but you could also go with Race Car or whatever your favorite one is. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I remain stuck in the cornfield.